explained to me that my children were being slaughtered and the sheriff's department, due to their own ritualistic, wow, and all the others, and even when wow. So that's how I know what real human being tastes like. When it's not being over seasoned to the point of, wow, this tastes like this. When I was eating the bowl of macaroni, and I was thinking of what I had learned then. Now, that was told to me, although there was the sandwich, and that was a big thing then. I was told by seemingly high up sheriffs the actual taste of human flesh. And what really fucking gets me right now is how, after I was told that, this was even before the log, I'm pretty sure, and this was before. You know what? I don't know when this was. I don't know. I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before the log. I'm pretty sure it was like young teenager. And what I heard, you know, from the TV and that's why one of the people that turned around, it's like this whole thing about how human flesh tastes started to circulate because of what was going on, and they started to look for children who could describe what human flesh really tasted like. So the interesting part is that after they told me what human flesh really tastes like. A person kept jamming in my head that I didn't know what I was talking about. Which then recycled the fucking lesson that the sheriffs, which I didn't exactly understand their fucking understanding of. And now I'm saying to myself, like, so what? So then it's just like, wow. Wow. You know, it's like, because then that moves that, it's like, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. So, a very smart man a good man as good as they could be from what I understand in this world steps in and starts to devise a plan of the very special shots that there was not a lot of. These shots were genetically enhanced and they were, as well as they could be, cleansed of cannibalistic traits. And then they were genetically more genetic stuff. I'll just put it stupidly so you can understand that they were then basically revamped. The cannibalistic traits to compensate for the cannibalistic traits of the serum that was made. I don't hate Henrietta Lacks. I don't hate her family. But I will not be told that I am owned by anyone. To the Blood Gang, guess what? To the Crips, guess what? To the Latin Kings, well, guess what? To the Sheriff's Department, I'm better than you. I've seen what you do on video after video after video after video. What makes you different than anything that I'm saying right now? The politicians selling out this entire country, this piece of land. The American Indians who stand behind their beliefs. This is their land. Well, your land's all sold, man. And you sold people that didn't do nothing to you right along with it. And everybody else did too. My uncle, the man in the red tie. I only have a hint of what his name is. That's it. That man was considered one of the evilest men from my understanding. And yet, I see the day. I have seen the day. On everything that is holy and religious, I have seen the day that man turned into a monster. Because there was a problem that was monstrous, that needed a monster to start to solve. To me, that's Batman. Now, some of the things I have said, some of those things, really hard to believe for the people who haven't experienced it. But for the people who have experienced, and I'm not talking about drug addicts. I mean, some drug addicts might actually be on drugs because they've seen this shit and that was their fucking breaking point. The different groups, the different covenants. That's why it was so much more. It was so much more. It was so much more than just separating the cannibalistic cells, which is, should I go into, you know what I mean? Again, should I really drill it home that I know what the fuck I'm saying? Because I really want to. I really want to because I fucking, you know what? You know, I mean, like, so, you know, it's just interesting that within the handful of shots, supposedly 2 of those shots were extremely special compared to the other few that were actually available. Okay? 2 of those shots were in sync with one another. The other shots were still somewhat but not like that. Those 2 shots were made special compared to the other handful, which was part of the handful of shots that were special. a lot of very, very rich people wanted these shots. They didn't, some did understand that they were separated from the cannibalistic traits, and that is why they wanted them. Some people wanted them for the exact reason of that too, to suppress certain things in their own life that they did. The reason why that they chose the two people that they did was because from the children that those two people would have had, those two people would have made children that had the right to choose which group, if any, they had a free, at that point it was giving back free will to every man, woman, and child, basically all the children. That's who it was giving free will to. Certain men and women who had already entered into contracts. The complications of this is complicated, but still it would have given the choice compared to now you're a part of something you have no idea what you're a part of. When I say that my blood, I am a federal agent. It is in my DNA. And I completely forgot. Because the amount of drugging and poisoning that I have been through, my body hurts. It probably could hurt worse. And more than likely, it could probably have hurt permanent if it wasn't for certain things in place. So when I say I am a federal agent, it is in my blood. That is my badge. What is happening right now, and what has been happening all the times. Now, granted, when I wanted my blood taken, I couldn't get my blood taken. But then, when I was in a situation where it's like, well, we could make your life really hard, I could have killed those police officers that took my blood out of my arm, because they were actually assaulting, at that moment in time, a federal agent. I did not remember this, that I am speaking right now, as of August 24th or 25th. Pretty much right around about the same time that Gerald Schur passed away. The head of WITSEC. Now, some people, a lot of people, might not like WITSEC, the Witness Protection Program. And I think that it's been run extremely fucked up. I really am wondering at this point, what is the percentage of witnesses making it to, which goes completely against the mafia, right? You know, it's like this is why these shots were so important. This is why all of this, and even now, as I'm sitting here trying to just process everything, I'm still leaving out, like, well, that great man that I spoke of that started to formulate this idea. Do you know the little boy that talked to them prior, that told them it was worth the time? Hey, do you know the little boy that helped find the virus so that they could start reversing the engineering of it so that it was less deadly to humans if it was released? And do you know that the shot that was given to that boy was one of those extra special shots? And the evil of people showed. People were willing to spend billions of dollars for those shots. A very, very good man who started to help formulate all of that. And yet, he had a brother. The final resting place of that man, he sacrificed himself to help what some would consider the wrong side. And the brother of that man followed. Not because of a good reason, but the brother of that man followed for the reason of that he was not a good man. That he wanted power instead of doing what was right for people who were trapped in a place where they didn't exactly deserve to be trapped. So to understand why and how the good man sacrificed himself willingly. You have to be willing. And the other man who resembled the good man did it, not even if you want to say evil, but more like for reasons that were selfish. And these are things that I have explained in a lot of videos, and I did not even understand what I was completely trying to understand at the time. People want things and this is good, and it's not when it comes to so many other. It's just so, what is a good life? What is living life? A lot of wicked plans, a lot of evil plans, man, have been put forth into my life even before I figured out the other evil plans that were absolutely fucking insane in my life, that were already underway, full-blown underway. The man in the red tie, he knew things about me that he wasn't wrong about. And you know, it's like other people knew, and it's like he tried his hardest. And I do mean that. I mean that he tried his hardest. There I have thought about this for the past months after starting to go over all of this other information, moving forward with other things, why I'm processing all of the things that I could remember about this person. And every time he tried, I was not ready to understand that any of this was real. Any of this. I mean, it's just, that's how insane the whole thing. I mean, it was like, there was a big thing in New York about the Win for Life tickets. You know, he knew. It's that he knew. He knew I'm like going to be going up against them, people that he represents, and he knows I don't stand a fucking chance without money. And yet, everybody else that I wanted to help, they wanted that too. They like they went out of their way. Like, I'm not even joking around. It was like, due to covenants and magical contracts, since certain money couldn't just be given to me, they offered more money than what the ticket would be worth. And the ticket, wow. So I'm standing there with the winning ticket, the Win for Life ticket. And I know where I could have went, supposedly. That's why I'm saying it's like, this is crazy. It's not crazy. It's so fucking true. It's not even funny. You know, and it's like, when I looked at the ticket, I said to myself, this can't even be real. This has to be just some old ticket. You know, people are really fucked up. People are really, really fucked up. You know, maybe I would have fucked up, but not like being forced to fuck up. And I think that's what my uncle really, in the end, it's like, whether people wanted to consider him a bad guy or not, it's like, look how much I am trying to help this kid. And look at all these motherfuckers that are behind me that are trying to fuck him over. And you still consider me the bad guy. Wow. This kid does not have a fucking prayer in the world other than who he is. Wow. So then it was, let him pick out a few rocks, open up a bank account. He's already done nice things for us. Nice things. Just leave it at that, right? Found a few things here. Let's see if the kid remembers a bank account, right? Don't touch the bank account for X amount of years. My fucking retina scan. Wow. Handprint. Blood on the paperwork. I go to check my credit. Can't. Says I'm deceased from the paperwork I signed. I'm thinking from the sheriff's department. The witness statement of Paul Flores murdering Kristen Smart, which, although multiple locations were given, and, you know, of course, Paul was trying to pretty much eliminate his whole entire family, some of which never did a fucking thing to this motherfucker, like me. He turned around, he had the fucking balls to tell me what he did, this, that. You know, and it's still in my head that there's a chance that Kristen Smart's not even dead. Actually, there's a good chance that she's working for the FBI. But what I also heard is them knowing where the body was because they brought me to a location where the body was alongside some fucking farmhouses. It was chopped up into fucking bitty pieces right on the side of the fucking road. And this shit should have popped 24 years ago. And then we're still sitting here. And then more people. All the big guys, right? Got a problem with me. I don't even want to go into the secret head of, I don't even know, is that the FBI, or was that the fucking CIA, or was that the fucking NSA? All I know it was a fucking secret head. And I know they called him by a certain name, which I've already even fucking mentioned that too. So I'm saying to my fucking self, like,